Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to JKS Tech Lab. Today, I want to show you how to connect PingOne SSO to your PingFederate. So if you want to get some attributes or you have some users inside of PingOne that you want to be able to allow the SSO with PingFederate and stuff like that, I want to show you how to connect these two. So let's go to connections. And you'll see on there it says PingFederate. So and it's going to make me authenticate. Yep. Just because I've been sitting there too long. All right, so we want to go where it says PingFederate. And basically what we're going to do is just add a connection and name it. So I'm going to name this just the name of my dev PingFederate setup. So we'll just call it JKS Tech Ping Dev. So hit save and continue. It's going to give me these credentials. I need to copy and I need to put this into my PingFederate. So let me pull up my server. So here's my PingFederate server, and what I want to do is go to system and external systems, and we want to go to where it says PingOne connections and click add connection. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to paste in my credentials for that application and I'm going to name it. It's just a trial, but I'm going to call it something that makes sense. So let's name it PingOne workforce dev. We'll just name it that. And just do a save. And if we look at the settings, we can see that it says it's connected, and then I can go in and configure some other things. So let's get off of that real quick. Here I'm gonna say close. We can see we're connected there as well. So we're good to go. And I'm doing this for my my workforce environment. It's just a sandbox. So I just called it workforce dev. I could have called it workforce sandbox, whatever, actually. And you can see all your information there. So like I said, it shows us the trial organization. It shows all my credentials and everything. So, and why would I want to do this? So what this would allow me to do is inside of PingFederate now, I'll be able to go in and set up, say, data store, or I can set up a password credential validator and stuff like that so that I can pull these users that are in this environment. Let's see if we can find the, pretty sure I got me a test user in there. Yeah. So let's say I want to get some of these credentials, maybe my first name, last name, maybe I want the email, username, maybe I want to pull something like the title. So maybe I want to pull the title for some reason. I want to be able to send that to another application. Now that these are connected, I can set up those configurations inside of PingFederate. So let's just set up, let's just do the data store and the password credential validator. So let's pull this server back over here. All right, so now that these are connected, you can see it doesn't have a data store set up yet, but what I want to do is actually set up a data store. So we'll just go to data stores and create one. And basically this data store just is where your identities are stored at. So I can use these data stores in different policies and with different applications. I can pull credentials, attributes, and everything from this data store. So I want to be able to use PingOne as a data store. So anybody that I have stored in there, whether it be workforce or customers, external users, whatever, I can pull from that. So I'm gonna name this one. Yeah, so you see I've done a sandbox one before, but we didn't name that one. Let's call it dev. I'm pretty consistent with how I like to name stuff. I want it to be very descriptive. So for the type, we're going to choose PingOne data store. I'm going to click next. And let's see, we don't want to do that here. We want to go and choose our environment. So it's this one right here, workforce environment. And if I wanted to show advanced fields and set up some other configurations, I can. Proxy settings, retry, API request, timeout, stuff like that. But we're going to skip that. Just leave it default. And right here, I can test it. So just to see if this connection works. So it's successful. That's going to give me a summary of this configuration. So now we have this data store. And now that we have this data store set up, I can create a password credential validator. And basically, once you have this data store, you can set up a credential validator. This allows you to actually authenticate your users. So you can use your credential validators on your web form. You can use them directly in different policies. And basically, it's going to say, okay, when this user signs in and uses this password, where are we going to look for that password at? We want them to look in PingOne for this one. So we're just going to set up a new instance. I'm going to do the same thing. And we're going to name this one dev. And I usually just copy and keep these the same. And again, for the type, this is a PingOne password credential validator. It's not PingOne for enterprise. That's a separate product. It's not Ping ID. We're not doing radius or anything like that. But these are different options you have. We're just going to choose this one here. It doesn't have a parent instance. So we're going to go next. And you can see right here, it's asking you what data store do you want to use. Since we already set that up, it's going to show right here. If we didn't set it up, we would have to go manage it. We'll click there. If you want to do any overrides, as far as like when you get errors and stuff, you can do that here. And let's see, we can look at the advanced settings. So if you want to map any of this stuff directly in here in the credential validator, you can. I'm gonna just leave it. On the default. Now, this is the core contract. So these are all of the attributes that PingOne is going to make available. It doesn't mean that you have to use them all. You have to actually specifically decide which ones you want to use when you start setting up policies and different things like that, or even when you're setting up adapters or something like that, you can choose these different ones. But by default, PingOne will send all of these attributes in the assertion, and you can just choose which ones you want to use to send to your application. So some of the ones that you normally be using will be like name family. When you're looking for last name, that's the one that's going to be your family name. Given name, that's going to be your first name. And then stuff like group names or group IDs. Email will probably be one that you use. Maybe nickname, maybe phone number, depending on what you're doing. Username is probably one that you'll use a lot. Sometimes you might want to use title. So you just have all these that you'll be able to pick from now that we have this set up in here. So we'll just go next. And it's just going to give you a summary of everything there. And if on this page, on the extend page, if you wanted to add another, whatever type of attribute that you wanted to add, you could do that here. But we're just going to use these. We're just going to leave it with the core. Then once you're done, you pretty much just click save. And now you can use PingOne inside of PingFederate. So if I were to go and say, set up, I'll just show you something really quick. I'm not gonna go through the whole process, but I'm gonna just show you. Let's say I have this basic web form adapter. I can add this. So right now it's just using a basic simple user password credential validator, which is like internal to PingFederate. But if I wanted to add a new one, I can just go here, and now I can add that workforce. So once I add that, this web form will be able to look up users based on their existence inside of PingOne. So you can just go here. You got some different settings there for that. And you can see right here on extend the contract. So we know that name family is part of that password validator, and we know that name given. If I didn't have these here and I wanted to get the first name and last name, and I didn't put in the actual attribute that's coming from PingOne, it wouldn't pull that over. Also know that username is going to be used. That's just part of the core contract, but I added title and email. So you just do that. And it's just asks you if you want to use any as a pseudonym or anything like that. Depending on what type of application you're using, you may want to use that or not. I usually just leave username because sometimes different applications want that. And then if you wanted to actually add a contract specific to this adapter, you can, but I'm not going to do that. So once you go over here to your summary, it gives you all your settings. But the main thing we were talking about is right here, the contract. So these are the actual attributes that are going to be pulled from this adapter when the user logs in. So it's going to pull that family name, that given name, title, email, and username, and then it's going to send it over, to whatever application you want to use. So you can see how it's going to fulfill it. So you can see it's saying the name family is being fulfilled directly by the adapter, because you could fulfill it by, you could put expressions in here, you could put other stuff in there as well, but we're going to be having that being fulfilled by the adapter. So that's pretty much it. And then anytime I want to set up application or anything like that, and it's using that basic web form, it can pull those attributes. So really just wanted to kind of show you what that looks like to connect those two. Again, inside of PingOne, you're just going to go to your connections and you'll see PingFederate down there. Copy all those credentials inside of PingFederate. You're going to set that up over here under your external connections. Again, if you were using PingOne for enterprise, you would do that over here. But this one is just directly for PingOne SSO. So let me know if you find that useful, or if you got questions. Obviously, just let me know. Yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.